Hi guys. How you doing out there? Welcome to friggin' Jeep. I don't think this thing moved. Not that it helps, but anyhow, working on welcome to friggin' Jeep. My name's John, and this is what's going on today. I guess still working on the barn down there, and I ran out of the boards. I don't really recall whether I showed you the other boards that I or showed getting these out of the pile. I have another pile in the back of a lot of this kind of junk, and dug it out. That pile's probably been sitting back there for 15 years maybe. I got no idea. I know that Copep barn down there used to be covered in poplar, and I put the poplar on this building here and then put the Copep on there because I had an order for 24 6x6 24 foot long 6x6 telephone poles. And that was all the wood that I cut out of it, and that's what this was. So I was cutting 26 foot 6x6s on the little sawmill in the back, so it did pretty good, I think. Anyhow, I'm working on my list. So my list today is move a bunch of stuff. I never did show you guys the sink over there. I'm not going to show you the sink. Pressure washing these because we showed you the pressure washing the others. Hopefully the pressure washer is still working, but it'll probably run out of gas. These have to be sprayed and then cut. They were never trimmed. You can't see it on this one because it's upside down, but you can see it on those. They got to be trimmed out. This one here is just dirty. I guess it got trimmed. So that's what's going on there. I don't recall whether I showed you getting the scales in the greenhouse, but after I got them in there, then I'm not happy with what's going on. I had to clean a bunch of crap out from the greenhouse. I sprayed it, but they didn't die as fast as I wanted to go, so I pulled it out. So it's getting a little bit better in here. Here's where the 3 scales are. I gotta turn the noise off or they get upset about that. Anyhow, here's what the problem is. If I roll this back into there, I won't be able to get between this stack of wood because I'm too fat to get in there and figure out what it is. So I'm gonna move this sink that was a free piece to me, and this is the shade net that goes over the greenhouse. We didn't even put it on this year. So I'm going to move all those down. So that's on the list of things to do. To get these in here, I had to move all that pile of wood down to the double wood in here. And I guess while we're in here, we'll look at see if I have wood here, I won't be able to look at this. That's down to 140. Let's see. It's picked up weight. It's picked. No, it hadn't. It lost maybe a pound. Yeah, I lost a pound. So now it's down to, there's 200 there and 44 there. So I got to come over. I don't know. I think today's the 26th. I'm not sure. Well, that's the wrong one. 246. So now we're at 8. I think it's 26, 25, and it's 44, I think. Anyway, it went up in weight for a while. I'll have to look at this one, see if this changed. So while we're here, we'll do that. Nope, that's still staying right where it's at, so it hadn't lost any. We're at 40, maybe I did change it. That's at 204. 204, yeah, it did go down from the last time I did it. I was in here working, I probably moved it. So I'm gonna go get my pencil. I don't know if I'm in the screen right. So 8, we'll say it's 26, and we'll say it's 204. You can see where, so now we're at 2, I don't know, you guys can figure out how long it's taken to get to where it's at. So it's slowed down tremendously. So like I've always said, I do believe that 75% of your water is out of your wood in 3 to 4 months. You guys can figure out how many months that is. So if I'm splitting wood now, it'll be ready for my boiler in 4 months, but it probably will go out further than that. So I'm going to get the pressure washing those, and then I'm going to move the sink and the net back to my storage area in the back. I did order, you know, the buttons that I hand out, I don't have any in here. A lot of people have seen those. We handed them out at Bunyan, handed them out at the Bunyan. I hand them out at different shows I go to, along with some other stuff. Oh, that was interesting. I think I put this show on I'm not sure when I want to put this show on. Anyhow, I mentioned about 4 or 5 days ago that I got 3 things when I went up and got the scale. We came back through Blue Ridge Summit and stopped at a Goodwill store. I'm not sure if that's where I got it or not. I don't know, I got some things. Anyhow, there was one thing that I said I got that I didn't mention. I won't tell you. What I got, you're going to have to go over to Mark Galici's channel, okay? He's excellent Sawmill, and see what I got, because what I got, I sent it off to him, but I didn't want to show it on the video before he got it. So now he's gotten it. I talked to him last night or the night before, and so go check out what I got him. It's funny. He'll probably show it in the first part of the video, so you don't have to go through the whole video if you don't want to, if you're not into sawmilling. But it was kind of interesting, so, or it's just funny. Anyhow, we'll see you back in a little while. Bye-bye. Now I got to turn you around and turn the thing off and start pressure washing. Bye. Minute update. Did get a pressure wash, did run out of gas, so I had to go get gas, fill it up, which is typical. I like to run things low and run out of gas because then it gets the fresh gas, especially when you're talking gas nowadays in the summer. In the wintertime, it's not quite as bad. I got the 2 pieces out of the greenhouse. I figure I'm going to utilize this wagon while it's up here and haul that stuff back to the storage area in the back. And I think I might come up and mow and get that stuff ground up. This is what it looks like now. Oh, legs can't get through on there. But I don't know if that's still enough room. Not sure if that's enough room. Anyhow, that's what it is. Won't know if there's not enough room until I get to start stacking stuff on top of there. But there's the scales to do the next weighing of wood. Minute update. See ya. now I gotta load that. I don't think you can get over it. Yeah, you can see those. I got two others on there are good enough that I don't need to saw them. So I'll leave them there. I guess I'll leave this out. It's supposed to be nice the next few days, so I got to get some spray down. That was one of the things on my list. And so we are going to, I got to take you off the stand, which isn't easy. So I got to turn that off and back on the wagon and back to the other sawmill. Whoops. If you're wondering, this wood here is Brazilian copep, and that's oak. A lot prettier, isn't it? Anyhow, here's another project I got to put on the list. Is every time I set this stuff up along here, it falls over. See, that's falling over, that's falling over, that's falling over. Buford's falling over. Got to put that on the list. Make something so those things don't fall over. And now I got to stick the tank. I got the boards loaded. No, I don't have them loaded. I'm going to load these boards on that, and that should be enough to finish that project down there. Oh my goodness, finishing a project. Something unlike me. Anyhow, we'll meet you back at the other sawmill. Bye-bye. Well, like I said before, everything is like a free cell game. To do this, you got to do this. To do this, you got to do that. To do this, you got to do that. To move this, move that way. Anyhow, I got the boards on. I think I probably showed you that. I'm not sure. But one thing on my list was to fill up the Kubota. Well, when filling up the Kubota, I knew I was getting low. That tank ran out, but I had enough to fill the Kubota. But as I said a minute ago on my, I was going to stick the sawmill tank in the back. I have no idea why that sawmill was running. That thing was down to 1 inch in that tank, and it runs out 1.5 inches. So I don't know. So I stuck the tank in this thing. Now, mind you, I'm working on getting diesel fuel delivered, but it's costly. This tank is 125 gallons plus or minus 125 gallons. That one's 110 gallons plus or minus 110, and that one's 300 plus or minus 300 gallons. I don't know. Anyhow, I've been stealing out of this tank, and so I am going to try to steal some more out of it. I just measured it. It's I know these guys, this interests the heck out of you guys, but the tank is 80 inches. I don't know if you can see that. 80 inches long, 35 inches wide, and there's 3 inches of oil in it, divided by 231. That means there's 36 gallons of diesel fuel in there. I want that diesel fuel. So what I'm going to do is go get the thing that I've been watering the apple tree, the siphon, and try to siphon some of this into there, and hopefully it'll empty that tank. And I was on the phone today with a guy that's working on getting me the diesel delivery, because I need 300, 400, 500 gallons of diesel fuel. Boy, I don't look forward to paying that bill. But if you want to play, you got to do that. The Kubota, I think, has got pretty good fuel. I think everything is pretty well fueled up. So I'm not in gotta have it tomorrow. If it was in a gotta have it tomorrow situation, I'd take my 5-gallon diesel tank in and get it at the street pump. Or they have off-road diesel, which you want to talk about a rip-off. Off-road diesel is only, well, I don't know what it is right now, so I'm just quoting what it is most of the time. Off-road diesel is generally only 10 cents cheaper than taxed diesel. Off-road is not supposed to be taxed, so you got almost 50 cents tax on a gallon of thing. So that should be, if they're making money on the pump diesel, then they're making a whole lot of money on the off-road diesel. So right now diesel's running around here $3.90, $3.89, $3.90, somewhere around there. So when I go into town later today, I'll probably take a look, but that's what's going on. Anyhow, that's an update. I just add stuff on the list. I cannot saw anymore until I get some fuel in that tank, so I'm going to try to get it out of here, and I'll bring you back when I show you what I think I'm going to try to do. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Well, I told you I'd bring you back for worthless information. This tank here is 22 inches by 48 inches by 24 inches, which is 110 gallons. Okay, so the height is 24 inches divided by 10. That means I got 4.58 gallons per inch. Now here's what I'm figuring. I'm hoping it's transferring over. Right about this area here where it's transferring over, I can't get into there and measure it, but that tank is approximately 15 inches off the ground. So they should equalize. So 15 inches off the ground, that's on the ground, is right about there. So height-wise, that's 10 inches. So 10 times 4.58, I didn't figure that out, about 10 inches. Let's see what we got here. Should be 40, no, let's see. That's even, so it should be easy to do. I'm messing up. 4.58 times 10 equals, should give me about 45 gallons. I forget what I calculated was in there a minute ago. More than I got. So it should drain that tank down somewhere around there. They're going to, as this goes down, I guess the height in the gas, I guess I should have figured the height in the gas at 3 inches. I'm not sure. Anyhow, we'll see how much we get in there. Be back in a little while. Well, guys, remember those 2 rails I made for the white truck? I carried them down the white truck and decided I'm going to come up here and splash oil on them here. So I found an old paint pan, and I got this brand new roller. If you notice, whoops, with leaves. It's kind of a little thing. I buy the long rollers and cut them in half because it's a whole lot cheaper. And you guys know me, I'm the king of cheap. So I'm going to put a little oil in this thing. Oil these great looking boards down. I think there's old oil in here. If not, I got problems. Oh yeah, how much will it take? I don't know, it might take that much. Don't really care. I'm going to slop it on, flip them over and slop it on and let it go. I should probably, I guess I'll put my mittens on so I don't get totally messed up here. Wipe that off and put something on. Probably should put, can't find a wiper towel. Yeah, that's what they made pants for. Might not be able to do it with mittens on, but I'm gonna try. I probably shouldn't have put this good expensive pair on. So I'll bring you along for a little bit, because you guys will get a laugh out of this, I'm sure. Woo! All the way to the end. I don't know how much it's gonna absorb into this roller. Probably a whole lot. Oh yeah, that's looking good, guys. Put some on the end. I can't see how much it's there. I can see it on this side. Might even put 2 coats on here. Doing pretty good on my list. I got 6 inches transferred over to that red tank from the other tank. So it's coming right along. 6 inches was, I think, 35 gallons. Yeah, we'll slop this on nice and thick. Moving down the, have to move you guys down the track here. Like I said, you're liable to find anything here at Frickin' Jeep channel. Yeah, we might even be able to get to the end. Don't those glow nice? Yes, they do. They are some good looking boards now. And if the oil drops over onto this, it won't hurt a thing. And I don't have a top or bottom, so it doesn't matter. Slop it on good. The more you got, the more it protects. This is going in, if you don't recall, these are going into the in between the body of the truck, or the bed of the truck. Boy, look how quick that absorbs in there. On the white truck, in between the body and the frame rails, the board that was in there, or the boards, one on each side, rotted away. Of course, it's only been, I don't know how many years. I don't keep track of how old that truck is. I don't remember. think it's a 93. So 93, so 93 to 3, 13, and 23, so it's getting up there. It's an old geezer. Oh yeah, look at that. I think I'll go around. I'll let it start absorbing. Look, you guys can't see. That stuff is already absorbing in that. Right through here is already absorbed in there. So we're gonna go down there. I'll tell you what, 4 minutes is enough looking to me. Actually, paint dry, oil won't dry, whatever. So I'll bring you back when I'm done and show you the recap. Bye. Here's my 1 minute follow-up. This is the other side, and I don't know if you can tell. That's already drying out. This is wet here, this is dry. Just about all dry all the way down. That was 2 coats. By the time I got down to that end down there, it was already dry up this end, so I put another coat on it. That's flipped over. And then I was having a good time, just having a good old time. So I put some on these rails here, and I put some on that rail there. Look at this, this is already dry. This is wet here. That's how fast this is absorbing. And I did the end of the track here. And I didn't run out of oil, just ran out of don't feel like doing it anymore. So I should really do that into the track. No, that end's kind of covered up. It'll be all right. Anyhow, that's just a follow-up. I'm gonna go down and check the tank, see if it's. I can't get you back in the stand here. There it goes. Go down, check the tank, see if I got more than 6 inches in there. If I do, I'm just gonna let it keep running. So that's where the follow-up today, and boss says she wants to go out to dinner tonight, so I think we're going out to dinner tonight. Be back in a while. Bye-bye.